You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 156.1, the Central Indiana Sports Daily Report, with high school, college, and sports news from all over Central Indiana, with a little bit of national sports news from time to time.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, thank you so much for being with us today. Today is January 23rd, 2025. It's a Thursday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. Coming to you today from Stage 22 in Elwood. Producer Susie is in the control room and headquarters in Jeffersonville. On Wednesday's Central Indiana Sports Daily Report, we had some big girls basketball games, another big win for the Anderson Prep boys, Frankton Pendleton wrestling, Northwestern Cass swimming, some high school and college football news, IU against Northwestern, a Flory Badinga update, and an Anderson basketball doubleheader against Franklin. Plus a look ahead to Thursday. But before we get to all of that, please go right now, like, subscribe, or follow us on your favorite podcasting host so you don't miss a single segment. We're now on YouTube. Please go follow us there. We start with girls basketball, where 2A number 2 Alexandria won its 20th game of the year Wednesday, beating Mississinewa 60-34 on the road. It's the Tigers' first 20-win season in 4 years. More importantly, the Tigers moved a step closer to winning the CIC championship for the first time in 22 years. Saturday is the big one. They're at Oak Hill to go head-to-head with the other conference unbeaten. Alexandria would still have to beat Madison Grant to win the conference outright, but whoever wins the game on Saturday wins at least a share of the conference championship. If it's Oak Hill, they win it outright. It's been 22 years since Alexandria won the CIC championship. It's been 6 years since Oak Hill has won it. Jack Hosier scored 26 points in the win. Lily Harp and Riley Kellums, who announced recently that she will play basketball and golf at Earlham starting in the fall, scored 10 points each in the win. Senior J.C. Crick led Mississinewa with 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals. Yorktown won a game between two hot teams Wednesday. The Tigers won for the 6th time, and it's in their last 7 games, 60-40 over Frankton. Frankton came in hot as well, having won 4 wins in their last 5 games. Yorktown scored 17 first-quarter points and led throughout the contest. Alexis Fields led the Tigers with 18 points, and Lily Sylvester had 14 points and 9 rebounds in the win. Tri-Central got a balanced offensive performance and a stellar defensive performance on Elwood star Breland Norris and a 47-40 road win on Wednesday. Logan Creason scored 15, Olivia Dempsey 13, and Angela Dempsey 12 for the Trojans, who ended a 7-game losing streak in the win. Norris still had a game-high 18 points for Elwood, and Kelsey Arms had 9 for the 11-7 Panthers. In a game delayed a night because of the temperatures, Pendleton Heights beat LaPel 76-51 behind 36 points from Casey Werfel and 19 points and 12 rebounds from Ada Hupfer. It's the 7th straight win for the Arabians and their second over LaPel in the past 2 weeks. LaPel junior star Lanaya Wills, who recently picked up a college offer from Coastal Carolina, finished with 31 points in the loss. A year after losing by 45 points to Western, 7-11 Northwestern beat the Panthers 48-43 on Wednesday at home. Elise Walden had 11 points and 8 rebounds for 7-13 Western. Kimber Abshir had 17 points and 14 rebounds to lead Wapahani to a 48-20 win over Monroe Central Wednesday. The Raiders improved to 17-3 overall, 7-1 at home, and 7-1 in the Mid-Eastern Conference. They'll need Delville to beat 2A number 13 Eastern Hancock Thursday to have a chance to win the share of the conference championship. Carroll won for the fourth time in its last 5 games with a 66-26 win over Eastern. The defending champion Cougars are now 4-3 in the Hoosier Heartland, with a home game left against Tri-Central on Thursday. Eastern was led by 12 points from senior Allie Houston. She had a pair of 3-point plays in the loss. Delaney Betzner hit a school record 8 3-pointers and finished with 26 points as Maconaquah beat Southwood 59-52. Also in the Three Rivers Conference, Wabash beat Cass 47-44. And Taylor at Rochester was postponed to this coming Monday. In boys basketball, the amazing story of the 2024-25 Anderson Prep Jets continues. Lincoln Fathauer scored 29 points to lead them to an 81-52 victory over Union, their 9th win of the year. That may not seem like much to a lot of programs, but for Anderson Prep, it's 3 more wins than they've ever had in a single season. They are now 9-4 on the year with 10 games still left to play. Double-digit win seems like a foregone conclusion, as does their first winning season. That seems like a done deal as well. If they win the rest of their regular season games, which is not out of the question, they would have 18 wins going into the postseason, 3 times as many as any other season in program history. Just an amazing job by Ryan Fathauer, Mike King, and the Jets. In Wednesday's win, APA led 25-20 after one quarter, then outscored the Rockets 21-7 in the second quarter and 19-10 in the third for a 65-37 edge heading into the final frame. Fathauer was one of 4 Jets in double figures. Marcus McLean and Zamarian Bryant each scored 14. Cameron Anderson had 13. A little bit to the south, Noblesville beat Park Tudor 62-40, and North Central beat Ben Davis 74-64. In wrestling, Frankton beat Pendleton 42-39 Wednesday on Frankton Senior Night. The Eagles trailed 18-6 early, but Ty Everson's pin ended a 4-match run for Pendleton, and the Eagles won 5 of the final 7 matches to pull off the win. In a boys and girls dual meet between Northwestern and Cass, Northwestern's boys won 127-46. Brian Burkhalter and Sam Martin won 4 times each for the Tigers. Maverick Harrell won 3 times, and Landon Munoz, Kai Schoaf, and Logan Phillips won twice each. Cass's girls beat Northwestern 106-75. Mia Hall and Marin Zek were quadruple winners for the Kings. A little bit of high school football news. Lebanon named Josh Yoder its new head coach. Last year was the first year in Lebanon for Coach Yoder as the team's defensive coordinator. He was also an assistant before that at Bluffton, Muncie South, Wrights, and Brownsburg. To college basketball, another ugly loss for the Indiana Hoosiers. On the heels of a big win at Ohio State on Friday, Indiana let a 31-25 halftime lead evaporate and a 79-70 loss to Northwestern. The Wildcats outscored IU 54-39 in the second half. Indiana led 37-31 early in the second half after an 18-2 run late in the first half gave the Hoosiers the halftime lead. Northwestern outscored Indiana 39-19 in the first 15 minutes of the second half to earn their 12th win of the season. The Hoosiers shot 42% from the field, but did make 9 of their 23-point attempts. Mackenzie Mbako led the team with 20 points, and Omar Ballo had 15 points, 7 rebounds, and a career-high 7 assists. Indiana is now 14-6 overall, 5-4 in the Big Ten. Northwestern's Brooke Barnheiser had a game-high 21 points. Kokomo's Flory Badinga had 10 points and 10 rebounds in 12th-ranked Kansas's 74-61 win over TCU on Wednesday. The Anderson Ravens are 6-0 in January and 9-1 in the Heartland Conference after a 77-62 home win over Franklin on Wednesday. Tate Ivanhoe scored 22 points and became the Ravens' all-time leading scorer in Anderson's Division III era with 1,525 points in 95 games. Sophomore Rob Davidson added 13 points, and sophomore Bryce Williams from Fishers contributed 12. The Anderson women won their third straight, 74-41 at Franklin. Junior guard Izzy Davis scored 22 points, and the Ravens got 12 points apiece off the bench from junior Mackenzie Tulliver and senior McKinley Taylor. In college football, Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman was named the Bear Bryant National Coach of the Year. Irish defensive coordinator Al Golden is leaving Notre Dame to become the Bengals defensive coordinator. Ball State signed lineman Mikey Varon from Fremd, Illinois. And Ball State offensive coordinator and offensive line coach is now the tight ends coach at New Mexico. A few highlights from games coming up on Thursday. There are 9 local girls basketball games headlined by Sheridan at Delphi. The Blackhawks have a chance to improve to 6-0 in the Hoosier Heartland. 11-6 Daleville is at home with a chance to play spoiler in the Mid-Eastern Conference against 17-2 Eastern Hancock. 17-2 Bluffton is at Eastbrook. 13-4 Delta goes to 8-10 Jay County. 13-7 LaPel is at 7-11 Muncie Central. Madison Grant goes to Northfield. Tri Central is at Carroll in a Hoosier Heartland Conference contest. 11-7 Elwood host winless Westell. And a pair of 13-6 teams go head-to-head in Connorsville when Pendleton Heights visits the Spartans. The Arabians have won 7 games in a row. Also, Thursday afternoon, the Pacers play the Spurs in Paris at 2 o'clock. That game can be seen on NBA TV or the FanDuel network. And IUK goes to Alice Lloyd for a men's-women's doubleheader. The men at 5:30, the women to follow. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. Thank you so much for listening. Word of mouth is our best friend on the Central Indiana Sports Report, and we depend on you to tell your friends and family about us. We will be eternally grateful. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.